Welcome back to the workshop. I'm Josh.
I'm Steve.
And in this episode, we are going to show you how to sharpen a drop point using the WE Banter. This WE Banter came out just a few weeks ago, and our photographer Steven picked one up. He's been using it, and we got a hold of it, and I gotta say it's a little bit dull, time to be sharpened. So that's what we're gonna go through. It's a great little drop point blade. Steve, you were playing with it earlier and noticed those ceramic bearings in there.
Yeah, it's got really nice opening action. It's really quick, really smooth.
It is. It's S35 VN blade steel, G10 handle, and nice anodized thumb stud there. Liner lock. I gotta say that's probably the biggest thing I don't like about it. A lot of good locking mechanisms out there, and the liner lock feels like a little lackluster. But really kind of nice looking knife and something I'd carry. So before we sharpen, we want to test the angle, and I'm gonna let Steve do that. Okay. He's gonna walk through the Sharpie test that we have a video on a couple weeks back. That basically you color the bevel with a Sharpie, take it to a really fine abrasive at a set angle, and then you can adjust and determine whether you're coming in too steep or too flat. And so we've already done that, and it looks like this knife was about at 20 degrees. I'm going to show how dull that is. I don't think it should cut any paper. I was feeling it a little bit. Yeah.
No, I won't even dig in. Another great way to do it is to look directly down at the cutting edge. If you can see light glinting off of the cutting edge, that means your edge is either rolled over or it's just completely dull. And with this one, you can definitely see there's some light reflecting off that edge.
So we're going to use our Work Sharp Ken Onion Edition sharpener with the blade grinding attachment. We call it the Elite Sharpener. And Steve, you're starting on that X65 belt?
Yes.
All right, so set at 20 degrees.
Yep. We're already set at 20 degrees. So go ahead and start it.
Last week's video we talked about the X65 belt means that the size of the abrasive particles are 65 microns. It's a coarse abrasive in the knife sharpening world, but not too coarse that it's going to chew up the knife at all. We can take all those striations out, or most of them out, by stepping down to the 12,000 belt.
You don't have to use all the abrasives every time. One of my favorite edges is going from a coarse belt to a 12,000 grit because it leaves a really nice toothy edge. And for the types of things that Steven has told us he's been using this knife for, working out in the yard,
cardboard and rope, and
cardboard rope, yeah, all that kind of thing. It just leaves a nice, very sharp, but nice toothy edge. It really does some good work. So we'll go ahead and finish this off on the 12,000 grit.
All right, how does it cut? That's smooth. That's
Beautiful.
Sharp. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to dull this knife again just a little bit through some activities that might be in your daily life if this is a daily carry for you. We're going to cut some rope, some hose, maybe a bunch of cardboard, and get this knife to, it's not quite sharp. It's a working dull, you could call it. And then we're going to show you how to bring it back to life real quick through some maintenance on the guided field sharpener. is in there. It's braided.
Reinforced, yeah.
I'm gonna beat up that coating before we beat up the knife.
I like that S35.
Apparently that S35 is holding up real well.
Hold on.
Okay, this knife was a bit harder to dull than I expected. But we're at a point where it's not going to cut paper very well. You can kind of force it. That's using that heel there. I guess that heel's probably pretty sharp, but closer to the belly there. This is a good... Wow. I'm very impressed with how this knife is holding up.
It's a good representation of when you should sharpen, because it's not as sharp as when we came off of the sharpener earlier.
Yep.
But now, I mean, I can tell when you're the final cuts on the hose we have here that you're smashing it and you're having to work a lot harder. That and with the rope, and it's struggling a little bit with the paper. Still doing reasonable, but this is the point where I would say, you know, it's time for me to go maintain my knife.
Yeah, don't be lazy. Grab the ceramic, grab the leather, strop and hone that knife back to peak performance. If your gut tells you you're feeling more resistance, it's time to touch it up. Steve, here's the knife, and here's the guided field sharpener. My ceramic's a little bit gummed up. I grabbed this one off my own dresser.
Most of sharpening is just being consistent and being accurate with your angles. Nice thing about this is we actually have angle guides on here. But place the knife at the angle that you want. Slide up to the ceramic. And then we're just going to hold that angle all the way up to the tip. Just nice light strokes.
Not a lot of pressure, not a lot of
Not at
speed.
all.
You're not using this, like a honing steel where you're just rapid fire.
Yeah. And even at that, I mean, it was very lightly dulled, obviously. But even with that, just those quick 5 strokes, I can feel a real small burr there.
Oh,
so we're
awesome.
going to come back and we're going to do the exact same thing to the other side. So just come up, use that guide, like as I said before, hold it to your angle that you want it.
So is that 5 or 6 strokes per side, and then you alternate it?
Yeah, and then I come back and alternate. It just helps get that burr down to help refine it and make it a little bit smaller. And then on the opposite side of the ceramic, we have our leather hone with chromium oxide compound. And again, we have guides here, little reverse guides. You always want to move your cutting edge away from the leather, never into the leather, because you'll end up cutting it.
So this might take 2-3 minutes. If you did this at the end of every day, man, that knife is gonna stay just razor sharp.
Can you see your paper? Let's give this thing a try.
And right like that, we're back. That is a sharp edge. Maintenance is the key to knife sharpening and to being able to carry a sharp knife in your pocket every day. You don't need to be using a big sharpener to remove a lot of material all the time. Keep your knife sharp and it will pay dividends every time you use it. Make sure you're subscribed to our channel and leave a comment down below if there's something that you want to see us sharpen or questions you have about knife sharpening. And we'll see you back here next week on Wednesday in the workshop. Thanks for tuning in this week. If you want to check out some of our previous videos, click the link here, or if you want to subscribe, click down here. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.